When I was in 2nd grade, my dad was in an accident. And due to that, he's never worked since. And along the way, he became addicted to pain medicine. He kind of drifted, I guess, out of my life. When I was in the 7th grade, my parents got divorced. My mom started seeing someone as soon as she left my father. Kind of cast me aside. And after almost a year, I just had enough of it, and I decided that it would be best for me and my interests to come live with both my aunts. She never tried to make me go back. And so in a way, she just kind of like, you know, let me go. It kind of just, at the time, I mean, I was 13. It was so hard for me to understand her motives, you know, because life had been so normal before. I went from having 2 parents to no parents. I definitely felt rejected, you know, as a child. I mean, I was 13. You do think, well, what did I do? And I guess that's why I was so angry, because I had always had good grades. I wasn't ever in trouble, you know. I thought I was, you know, doing good, you know, as a kid, and I guess I didn't understand. One of the things I was most afraid of was having no one there for me. I guess there was a lot of what ifs, and there was unanswered questions, and so I think those were my biggest fears. I still deal with it, you know. Anytime like she's around or I see her, there's always that elephant in the room, you know. My dad, I don't see him. Now I'm a lot better with the situation because I've learned to deal with it. And I've also been so involved in school and all my extracurricular activities that it's helped me cope with the whole situation, and it gives me something to focus on, and it's also leading me in the right direction. Ever since my mom left me, I've lived with 2 of my aunts in Erath. They've supported me, they've taken care of me, they've, you know, made sure I've done everything that I've had to keep up with school and been, you know, so successful. I mean, it's really them to thank. The way I heard about the Glenn Armentor Pay It Forward Scholarship of Excellence was from my counselor. One day she was just like, hey, we have this new scholarship in. And so she's like, you should, you know, really consider applying for it, you know, because of your situation and stuff like that. And who'd have guessed that a few weeks later, I got a phone call and this nice lady was like, oh, by the way, you have an interview. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so I went through my interview, and that night, Mr. Armentor called me, and he was like, oh, by the way, Krislyn, you've won the Glenn Armentor Paid Forward Scholarship of Excellence. And I was just kind of speechless. I almost didn't believe it, you know. And so the whole interviewing committee was there, and they were all cheering in the background, and I was like, oh my goodness, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I didn't know what else to say because I was shocked, really. The Glenn Armentor Pay It Forward Scholarship will help me in so many ways. It's definitely gonna allow me to go to college. Just this blanket of comfort, you know. I definitely admire Mr. Glenn Armentor. I guess I can relate to him and his story about trying to make something of himself and coming from, you know, not a lot. Now that he's become something and made a name for himself and become so successful, he's trying to give back to kids, you know, who haven't had it easy. Sometimes all you need is someone to believe in you, and he knows what that's like. And so, I mean, I guess the compassion and the loving nature, I guess that's what sets Mr. Glenn apart from other lawyers. I mean, it changed my life. I don't think I would change anything that's happened to me in my life because it shaped my character, first of all, and it's also made me the person who I am today. 10 years from now, I see myself working in a hospital as a nurse practitioner, you know, having a college degree, a master's degree, you know, being successful, working hard, you know, enjoying what I do every day, you know. I would like to tell Mr. Glenn Armentor, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I mean, I could say thank you until I'm blue in the face. I mean, And that still might not be enough, you know, to express, I guess, how grateful I truly am.